What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Alright, so this is the situation we have right here. This is the area of interest we've been watching for several days now. I'm starting to notice a bit more of a banding effect on the outskirts of it. And the NHC has noticed this too. And they've actually upped the risk for development, actually. It's now a 30% chance of development in the next 48 hours. And a 30% chance in the next 5 days. It was 10% in the next 48 hours. Now it is 30%. Now, depending on how that's executed and depending on if it can get organized even more than it has been already, it'll depend on if it can develop or not. So we'll have to pay attention very close in the next 24 to 48 hours to see what's going to happen. As of 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Thursday, August 18th, 2022, in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico, showers and thunderstorms associated with a tropical wave located over northern Guatemala and southeastern Mexico have become a little better organized since yesterday. This system is forecast to emerge into the Bay of Campeche tomorrow, where an area of low pressure could form. After that, additional slow development of the system is possible while it moves northwestward over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. By Saturday night, the system is expected to move inland over northeastern Mexico. An Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft is scheduled to investigate the system on Friday if necessary. So once again, 30% chance of formation in the next 48 hours. Now, if we take a look at the satellite, the ghost cloud tops have warmed up a bit, but that's likely due to land interaction right there. The system's getting more organized by the hour. I'm starting to notice a better rotation going on. I'm also noticing that banding effect that I kept mentioning right here. So this is something we need to pay attention to, especially with the warm waters we have. We have a warm water of 29 to 30 degrees Celsius, which is about 84 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you who live in the United States. And yeah, if this thing can organize, and considering that there's, even though at the very beginning there's going to be a little bit of wind shear, but after that there shouldn't be really anything that's going to stop this. If it can organize and it can take advantage of this warm water, weak wind shear, and now moist air that's going on, this thing could potentially develop pretty quickly, but we're going to have to wait and see when it comes to that. Now, I want to go ahead and move on real quickly, because there is another area of interest that I'm designating, another area of interest that Michael O'Malley's been paying attention to as well. We're going to go to the Central Atlantic. We're going to pay attention to this right here. This is a tropical wave, a dry tropical wave right here, that's been moving for several days off the coast of from Africa. It's approaching the Lesser Antilles right now, and there is a good chance of for the potential development, and the models are picking up on this. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at the GFS. This is the latest from the GFS right here, and it's showing enhanced signs of development going on in the Caribbean. It starts to really blaring up in the next few days. So yeah, basically it starts around here. In the next 6 days it starts blaring up, and then things start to intensify, potentially organized to intensify. We're looking at several scenarios of already hurricane strength scenarios going on. One hitting Puerto Rico, a couple hitting Hispaniola, and several hitting Cuba, and then it continues to move on. And take a look at this. This is what you do not want to see right here. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, that's at least 7 ensemble members of hurricane, 8 ensemble members of hurricane strength. And look, and a lot of these model runs are indicating either a landfall on the Florida coast to the east, or a potential Alabama, Florida near the Florida Panhandle landfall right here, and we have a plurality of model runs agreeing with that. We have a 944 millibar run hitting Louisiana near New Orleans right here, taking a similar path to that of Hurricane Ida, which is something we absolutely cannot see. We absolutely do not want to see this right here. And yeah, and even further to the west, we have another system potentially making landfall on the Mexico-Texas border. So yeah, this is something we do not want to see. And we have another system right here that's intensifying, that's potentially going to impact the Bahamas a lot. That pressure's down to 939 millibars right there. That's Category 4 strength easily right there, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, the GFS is showing a more concentrated, before it was more dispersed and all over the place. Now it's showing a more concentrated area of potential scenarios right here, which, if you pay attention to ensemble members, if you ever see that, you guys start preparing. You gotta get your hurricane preparedness plan ready and get it ready to get going once it happens. Once the NHC designates an area of interest, which they probably will in the next 3 to 4 days, maybe even 5 days if we're being a little more conservative right here. Yeah, I'll be paying attention to this because we could see a very powerful system in the next 10 to 15 days right here. Even in the next 10 days, we have several systems impacting the Greater Antilles right here. So that's basically what we're looking at right here. So now we're gonna check one last thing because we have the warm water, we have the wind shear that's all there. Let's take a look at the potential air that's going on, and yeah, the air looks really moist for all this. The air is generally favorable for a lot of these conditions right here. So that's something we need to also take into account, because if we take a look at the air now, there is still some, there's a lot of dry air in the Caribbean right now, but in the next few days, it starts really calming down, and by day 4 right here, the Eastern Caribbean's pretty moist right here, and that continues into the Western Caribbean by day 6, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, the air becomes increasingly favorable in the next week. That switch is starting to really start going down at this point. We're kind of like, if you look at a light switch, we're kind of like from this top to this bottom, we're kind of like about here, like kind of like 25% down. But yeah, that switch is starting to go down, and we're going to have to pay attention to this for the next few days. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps me out and helps me make more videos like these. We just hit 1,300 subscribers, so thank you very much. The goal of this channel is to get more people engaged with weather as always. But with that being said, have a wonderful day. Stay safe.